rise here to speak on the union budget that was presented by the Honorable Finance Minister yesterday. If I am to describe this budget in one line, I would say it's a budget without any clarity or vision, which has been rolled out to satisfy the coalition partners of the BJP rather than providing any substantial relief to the 140 crore people of this country. This budget was planned by two individuals to keep another two in good faith, neglecting the aspiration of 140 crore people. So the gist is, it has been planned by two and executed for two. It's an anti-people budget crafted to bribe two political parties and buy time before the government implodes. So today, we stand at the precipice of a new era in Indian democracy. When PM Modi became the Prime Minister for the first time in 2014, everyone referred to that government as Modi government. When Mr. Modi was elected for a second term in 2019, everyone referred to that term as Modi 2.0. But on June 4, 2024, the people of India decisively rejected the Modi-led BJP government, which reigned supreme almost for a decade. What we now have in place is a creaky, shaky coalition. Yes, sir, coalition. So coalition means cooperation, and no one is referring to this government as Modi 3.0. Not even the Union Finance Minister who presented the budget yesterday. Not even the MPs of the BJP. Neither the Home Minister, nor the External Affairs Minister, nor the Defense Minister, nor the Panchayat Minister, nor the Health Minister, no answer. Even the BJP leaders are not referring to this as Modi 3.0. So it's so uncertain and fragile that it can implode any time. So as I was saying, coalition means cooperation. Coalition means collaboration. Coalition means cohesion. But after yesterday, one thing is very clear, sir. That coalition means appeasement and compensation. So that is very clear from the yesterday's budget. It's ironic that BJP, which decried of appeasement politics in the last 10 years, is now ensnared in its tentacles, as in the appeasement politics tentacles, trying to save its own chair. Waqt badal gaya hai, sir. This change is more than a paradigm shift in leadership. It's a clear rejection of authoritativeness. It's a rejection of arrogance, divisive politics, and empty promises. The message from the electorate of this country is loud and clear. Waqt badal gaya hai. Today is exactly 50 days since the rejection. But PM Modi refuses to accept the reality. He is running a coalition government and he wants everyone to believe that sab changa se. Everything is good. So the defense minister is the same, the commerce minister is the same, the home minister is the same, the external affairs minister is the same, the finance minister is also same. Sir, one thing has changed. I was sitting throughout when the budget was being read. Only the cheerleaders have gone down in numbers. वो bench बजाने वालों का थोड़ा number कमती हो गया है. The number of cheerleaders have gone down because the people of this country denied them an access to this temple of democracy, sir. This is a big change. Amidst all the failures in the last decade, the PM and his government achieved something truly remarkable. a world-class collection of abbreviations. With more than 110 acronyms or abbreviations up their sleeve. Every new initiative feels like almost a linguistic surprise. Who need plain names, sir, when you can have a whole vocabulary of letters to decipher? 110 names, just imagine. And why I'm talking about abbreviations or acronyms? Because I want to reply to this government in a language they understand. Sir, from ART. ART means accountability, responsibility, transparency. To Hriday, which means Heritage Development and Augmentation Yojana. To Udan, which means Ude Desh ke Aam Nagarik. To Gobar, which means galvanizing organic bio-agro resources. They have thrown every absurd acronym possible at the people of this country. 110 names. And like I said, I want to reply to this government in a language that this government and the union minister, especially the union finance minister, understand. So budget, B-U-D-G-E-T. It has 6 letters. And I will explain all 6 letters in details. So let me start with B. B for betrayal. BJP promised Achhe Din. BJP promised Achhe Din before coming to power. BJP promised Achhe Din before coming to power in 2014, sir. Sir, what has they done? What has they done? They have betrayed the citizens. They have betrayed the housewives, betrayed daily wage earners, betrayed farmers. सुनने का हिम्मत रखिए. Sir, price rise. Sir, a home cooked veg thali costs 8% more year on year in April 2024. Onions are up by 43%, 41%, and potatoes 39%.
Nirmala Sitharaman bolbe kintu Nirmala Sitharaman bolte debo na ekdom bolte debo na Nirmala Sitharaman ke ekdom बैठाइए उनको बैठाइए Nirmala Sitharaman
एक को बोलने की इजाजत है. Sir, I have a lot of patience.
Please, Dada, बैठिए.
So these things will not distract me. You can just ask them to have patience and listen to what I say, and then the minister can reply. He is not going to become the minister. This is not going to score in brownie points.
Please.
Sir, BJP promised Achhe Din before coming to power in 2014.
Dada, please.
But what has they done? Betrayed citizen, betrayed housewives, betrayed daily wage earners, betrayed farmers. Sir, price rise. A home cooked veg thali costs 8% more year on year in April 2024. Onions are up by 43%. Tomatoes, 41%. Potatoes, 39%. LPG gas, cylinders prices crossed 1100 in 2023. Household savings plummeted. Household savings plummeted to a 50-year low in 2023, with household debt reaching a record high of 39.1% of GDP in 2024. So in case of earnings, 63 crore people earn less than 308 rupees a day, and 18 crore people earn less than 180 rupees a day. If the NDA government in the last 10 years had spent even a quarter of time it dedicated to political witch hunting and spreading communal hatred on addressing the real issue for the interest of the people, India would not be ranking 111th out of 125 countries in the global hunger index. These people sitting here in the treasury bench needs to know. So they betrayed the marginalized communities. They spoke about Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, which turned into Jo Hamare Saath, Hum Unke Saath, as admitted by BJP MLA and the leader of opposition in Bengal Assembly, and proved right by the failed finance minister of this failed government yesterday. It's a crime against scheduled caste and scheduled tribes increased by 13% and 14% respectively from 2021 to 2023. Uttar Pradesh, they speak about double engine government. They're trying to defend Bengal. But let me give you a data which was given by the Social Empowerment Justice Ministry last year, which was given by the minister himself in Rajya Sabha in June 2023, which proves that Uttar Pradesh have the highest number of cases of atrocities against Dalit,
Yes.
followed by Rajasthan. Sir, who is in power in Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan? Can these two who are shouting at the top of their voices answer? Who is the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh? Who is the Chief Minister of Rajasthan? After the Mangal Sutra and Mujra, sir, after the Mangal Sutra and Murja vilification episode, the government of Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, in their infinite wisdom, have mandated that eateries, along with the Kawar Jatra route, display the name of owners and staff members. A move clearly intended to instigate hate speeches and hate crimes targeting the minority community. We commend and thank the Honorable Supreme Court for swiftly intervening with a stay order against all these discriminatory directives. Sir, vacancies in tribal schools, 10,000 vacancies still lying left in Eklavya school, residential school remains unfilled as of today. Sir, religious representation. Sir, religion belongs to an individual, whereas a festival is for everyone. Like the Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal has said, Dharmo jar jar, Utsav Shobar. BJP doesn't have a single Muslim MP. Sir, listen to this. The whole country needs to know. The whole country needs to know that BJP doesn't have a single Muslim MP in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, or any state assembly. Diversity isn't about the colors in our flag. It's about the people in our parliament. So the absence of diversity in parliament has tangible consequences in the past. It led to policies that overlooked the needs of marginalized communities, legislation that failed to address systematic injustices, and a governance structure that perpetuated inequality rather than fostering unity. The marginalized across the country have spoken with a strong voice, this time and unequivocally rejected a government that has betrayed their aspiration and rights. So now I come to you. Budget ka B pe bola betrayal, ab U pe aata hu. Sir, U stand for unemployment. Unemployment rate in our country rose to an 8-month high of 9.2% in June 2024. Sir, youth unemployment, Modi ji ki तीसरी बार युवक अभी भी बेरोजगार. Sir, when we speak about youth unemployment, sir, look what unemployment has done to this country. This is the perfect example. Sir, they've gone mad. This is what unemployment has done, sir.
सदस्य प्लीज
Sir, Modi ji की तीसरी बार युवक अभी भी बेरोजगार.
एक मिनट आप जैसे सुन के आए हैं ऐसे भी ये लोग भी सुन के आए हैं तो
They are not
respect
audible.
each other तो आप थोड़ा सा इस फंसा का देखो। प्लीज
मोदी जी की तीसरी बार
प्लीज
मोदी जी की तीसरी बार
आप लोग बैठे। अभिषेक जी प्लीज कंटिन्यू। आप
मोदी जी की तीसरी बार युवक अभी भी बेरोजगार. Sir, among graduates, it was 13% in 22-23. Among postgraduates and above, it was 12.1% in 22-23. The Skill India mission aimed to train 400 million people by 2022, but only 14 million received training by 2024. The target still remains a distant dream. The Honorable Finance Minister announced 2 lakh crore package for 5 schemes on job and skilling of 4 crore 10 lakh youth. BJP had previously promised 2 crore jobs a year. They are nowhere close to meeting the target, and now they are setting unrealistic targets. These young people don't want to listen to budget speeches. The young people of this country, the young India, doesn't want to listen to your rhetoric, doesn't want to listen to your empty promises, doesn't want to listen to your 90-minute long budget speeches. They want jobs, J-O-B-S. So unemployment rate for women living in urban India soared to 22.7%. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. But they forgot to mention about Beti Ko Naukri Dilao. On the other hand, you see what's happening in Bengal. Kanyashri scholarship scheme touched the lives of 85 lakh girls and won the UN Public Service Award. Said this award was not handed over by any Tom, Dick or Harry. It won the UN Public Service Award. Over 2 crore 20 lakh women have been financially empowered through schemes like Lakhir Bhandar, financial assistance of 12,000 annually for general category and 14,400 for SC/ST women. Many other states are also rolling out similar schemes. So make it a national model. I'll appeal to the Honorable Finance Minister. I humbly urge the government to set aside arrogance and embrace willingness to learn from successful practices, integrating them into our approach. Sir, only 3 states in the country have enterprises where women own more than 3 out of 10 establishments. And these 3 states are Telangana, West Bengal, and Karnataka. It's not coincidental, sir, that all 3 states are governed by non-BJP political parties. And I have no qualms or hesitation in saying that BJP and women empowerment simply don't align and is rather paradoxical. So now I come to D, deprive, like the honorable member has deprived his wife. Yes. So D for deprive. Yes. You spent 20,000 crore on revamping Central Vista. You did this. To improve the homes of the rich.
Please listen.
Influential
Please.
and powerful. What have you done for the homeless in the cities, in the towns, in the villages?
प्लीज सुनिए जो इस सदन का एक मिनट जो इस सदन का मेंबर नहीं है आप इनका बारे में बोल नहीं सकता प्लीज ये रिकॉर्ड से निकाल दिया जाएगा ये रिकॉर्ड से निकाल दिया जाएगा
ममता बनर्जी
जो इस सदन का मेंबर नहीं है यू प्लीज डोंट मेंशन प्लीज दादा प्लीज go back please आपको please Soumitra Khan ji please go to your seat please Soumitra Khan ji please आप लोग भी बैठे हम आसान से खड़ा हो गया आप ठीक है प्लीज Soumitra Khan ji
चलिए मानिए मानिए प्लीज 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 कल्याण जी प्लीज, आपके सदस्य बोल रहे हैं, आपके सदस्य बोल रहे हैं, प्लीज।
एक चीज सर, मैं एक चीज स्पष्ट कर देता हूँ सर। चेयरमैन सर ने बोला जो इस सदन की मेंबर नहीं है,
एक मिनट
सदस्य नहीं है।
एक मिनट
सर एक बार सुन
हाँ
लीजिए।
एक मिनट प्लीज, माननीय सदस्य आप भी बैठ जाए, एक मिनट। माननीय सदस्यगण, हमें ये प्रयास करना चाहिए कि जो इस सदन का सदस्य नहीं हो उसके बारे में टिप्पणी नहीं करें, सभी लोग इसकी पालन करने का प्रयास करें। और
सर मैं एक
प्लीज प्लीज बोल दिया ना सबको, बोल दिया।
सर
हम लोग तो बोलते हैं, बीजेपी लोग जब करते हैं आप लोग कुछ नहीं बोलते, क्यों नहीं? क्यों नहीं? आप उनको नहीं बोलने देना चाहते, आप उनको डिस्टर्बेंस कर रहे हैं, प्लीज। अभिषेक जी एक मिनट, अभिषेक जी एक मिनट। मैंने सभी माननीय सदस्यों को, आप डायरेक्शन देंगे क्या मुझे? नो, प्लीज बैठिए, प्लीज। माननीय, ऐसे मत कीजिए प्लीज, ऐसे माननीय सदस्य मेरे मत थपाइए। जब आपको बोल दिया बैठना है तो बैठना है। अभिषेक जी
मैं एक चीज से स्पष्ट करता हूँ। ऑनरेबल चेयरमैन सर ने बोला जो इस सदन के सदस्य नहीं है, कोई भी सदस्य उनके खिलाफ कोई टिप्पणी नहीं करेगा। सर मैं आपसे इतना पूछना चाहता हूँ, पश्चिम बंगाल के चीफ मिनिस्टर ममता बनर्जी सदन के सदस्य है? नहीं है, तो उन्होंने क्यों टिप्पणी किया? सर आप अपना पद का मान रखिए सर, उनको उठ के बोलिए माफी मांगेगा, देन आई विल कंटिन्यू माय स्पीच। नो सर, you have to intervene. Sir, you're the speaker, you are the speaker of this house. No sir,
एक मिनट प्लीज,
मैं हाथ जोड़ के আমি
प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज
आग्रह करता हूं, विनम्र रूप से मैं आग्रह करता हूं सर, उनको बोलिए आप स्पीकर के नाते, अध्यक्ष के नाते,
माननीय
इस सदन का
सदस्य,
गरिमा के लिए आप उनको बोलिए उठ के वो माफी मांगेगा।
नहीं प्लीज प्लीज, आपको कंटिन्यूस करना है तो करिए। उनका नाम सदन के रिकॉर्ड से निकाल दिया है, नहीं करना है तो आप डायरेक्शन मत दिए कि उनको माफी मंगाई। आप मुझे डायरेक्शन नहीं दे सकते, मैंने उनका नाम निकाल दिया, ऐसे कई बार हुआ है सदन में, पहले निकाल दिया है।
Sir, D for deprive. You spent 2,000 crore on revamping Central Vista. You did this to improve the homes of the rich, influential, and powerful. What have you done for the homeless in the cities, towns, and villages? Why have you deprived the homeless across India and Bengal? You are not only visionless and shameless. You are not.
एक मिनट
Sir, he is not even listening to you.
आप क्यों डिस्टर्ब? मैं बाद में आपकी बात सुन लूंगा।
Sir, he is not
आपकी
even
बात सुन
listening to
लूंगा।
you. Sir, so
नहीं सब निकाल देंगे, प्लीज
Sir,
निकाल देंगे।
सर ये तो आपका बात भी नहीं सुन रहा है। डिप्राइविंग रूरल पुअर, मोदी जी की तीसरी बार गरीबों के ऊपर लगातार अत्याचार। Sir, over the past decade, the BJP-led central government has made its Bangla Birodhi stance abundantly clear by deliberately depriving people and abusing power to suppress Bengal's voice. They have made an array of hollow promises, disrespected Bengal's culture, and hatched continuous conspiracies to tarnish the state's image. Failing to fight us politically, you declared an all-out war on our rural poor, depriving them of roti, kapda, and makan. Sir, Honorable Finance Minister gave a statement today in Rajya Sabha saying that Bengal has failed to implement the scheme that Central has aided in the last 10 years. Sir, I challenge the Honorable Finance Minister if she can release the white paper of how many dime, penny or rupees the central government has given to Bengal after its embarrassing defeat in the West Bengal legislative elections in 2021. Sir, in the last 3 years, let me put this on record. And sir, मैं कुछ बोलूंगा वो सही हो सकता है, आप उस पर टिप्पणी करेंगे वो सही हो सकता है, गलत हो सकता है। सर, कागज तो झूठ नहीं कहता है। मैं बस इतना कह रहा हूं कि 2021 में आपने बंगाल में हारने के बाद आपने मनरेगा के लिए बंगाल में कितना पैसा दिया, और आवास योजना में 2021-22, 22-23, 23-24 फाइनेंशियल वर्ष में आपने अगर साबित कर दिया व्हाइट पेपर रिलीज करके कि 10 पैसा दिया है, 10 पैसा। सर देखिए, मैं व्हाइट पेपर मांग रहा हूं, ये चिल्ला रहे। अरे भैया व्हाइट पेपर दे दो, व्हाइट पेपर दे दो, कहानी खत्म। सर जिसके पास कागज नहीं होगा, सर व्हाइट पेपर मांग रहे, सर व्हाइट पेपर मांग रहे, चिल्ला रहे। इनके पास कागज नहीं है और पूरा देश से कागज मांग रहा है सीए का नाम पे। ये बीजेपी है, ये बीजेपी है।
आप बीच बीच में मत टोकिए।
Sir, Manrega funds to the tune of 6,913 crore have been forcefully withheld, denying wages to more than 59 lakh workers over the past 3 years. Sir, 11 lakh 36,000 eligible families have been deprived of a roof over their heads, as 8,140 crore rupees under PM Awas Yojana have been deliberately halted. Sir, the government withheld the release of over 800 crore under the National Health Mission due to non-compliance and certain color branding guidelines for health and wellness centers, despite other conditions being duly met. Sir, despite 334 central and NLM teams visiting West Bengal in the last 3 years, and ATRs being submitted on time by concerned departments of the state government against every observation that was made by the center, still no funds have been released. Official interactions with the Honorable Prime Minister and the other BJP ministers of the concerned department were met with dismissive attitude and constant rejection. Our leaders fighting for the people of Bengal were even detained in Delhi by Delhi police. Even women MPs were manhandled and dragged by their hair. And this BJP talks about Nari Shakti. So the finance minister yesterday in a speech proposed flood control initiatives for states like Bihar, Assam, Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, and Uttarakhand, sir. Unsurprisingly, Bengal was once again left out, in spite of northern part of Bengal being one of the most worst flood-affected areas. Despite 6 out of 8 MPs from PCs that falls under the northern part of Bengal being from BJP, this is the kind of discrimination meted out to our state. I hope people of Jalpaiguri and Alipurduar are watching this and listening to what I'm saying. The finance minister, as long as we stand as people's representative, the rights of Bengal's people cannot be taken away. The state government of West Bengal has already cleared the pending wages of 59 lakh Manrega workers from its own treasury. It has also been decided that the first installment of funds for the construction of houses shall be released by 31st December 2024, which is by end of this year. In 2022 and 2023, under the Pathoshri scheme, 26,486 kilometers of rural roads were constructed and repaired, and a financial outlay of 6,448 crore. Sir, depriving women, vanchit ho rahe desh ki nari, khule ghum rahe shoshankari. You have 240 MPs in parliament. If you had implemented the 1/3 quota as per the Women's Reservation Bill, the BJP would have had 80 women MPs. But how many do they have? They have just 31, which is a mere 13% of their total strength. And compare this to the Trinamool Congress, sir, which boasts not 1%, 5%, 10%, 13%, 15%, 20%, 25%. Sir, it has 38% women MPs in Lok Sabha. Last year, a special session was convened to pass the Women's Reservation Bill. Yet the BJP failed to implement it in spirit. In West Bengal, we demonstrated that where there's a will, there is a way. We achieved substantial female representation without grandstanding in the media. That's the difference. Sir, this government is depriving the students. तीसरी बार मोदी सरकार खो गया है शिक्षा का अधिकार. So the inability to conduct NEET is one of the biggest failures of this government, jeopardizing the future of almost 33 lakh bright students. India parties, we all of us in the opposition, demanded a discussion on this in Parliament, but hardly a word from the Honorable Prime Minister on this issue. Sir, our CM wrote to the PM for scrapping NEET in favor of reverting to a system where state government conducts their own medical tests. Sir, more than 12,000 vacancies in Kendriya Vidyalayas nationwide are yet to be filled in. Sir, more than 7,50,000 vacancies for teaching posts nationwide from class 1 to class 8. More than 1,20,000 vacancies for teaching posts in UP alone from class 1 to class 8. Students account for 8% of total suicide victims. More than 13,000 students' lives are lost every year because of suicide, sir. Sir, depriving the working class, मजदूर की जेब हो रही है खाली, बताओ कब ये हालत है सुधरने वाली? Sir, ILO data reveals that the growth rate of real wages between 2006 and 2013 was 6%. So the data suggests that the growth rate of real wages from 2006 to 2013 was at 6%. Between 2014 to 2021 is down to 1.4%. The Indian Railways made a bold proclamation about upgrading 40,000 conventional coaches to Vande Bharat standards, turning a blind eye to the genuine struggle faced by everyday travelers, neglecting the fact that almost 96% of passengers journey in general and non-AC coaches. They continue to endure grave risks and vulnerabilities compounded by this government's sheer ineptitude. So now I come to G. G for guarantee. But a guarantee, sir, खुद बोल रहा है उसका सरकार का घोटाला, sir. देखिए. Sir, thank you. I would take that acronym. He's very good. Sir, G for guarantee, G for घोटाला. NEET घोटाला and a guarantee with zero warranty. Sir, PM announced demonetization and guaranteed black money. भैया कितना सेल्फ गोल दोगे?
हरा दिया था तो एक बार
कितना
फिर से
सेल्फ गोल
वापस
दोगे?
आके
देते रहो. आपको ही डांट पड़ेगी.
आपस में बात करते हैं.
PM announced demonetization and guaranteed that black money would be wiped out. Sir, he failed. Sir, why I say guarantee with zero warranty? Why I say guarantee with zero warranty? Because PM announced demonetization. He said black money will be wiped out. Sir, this government failed. 99% of the black money came back into circulation and is in the system now. Sir, he guaranteed that terrorism would be curbed. Again failed. There has been 26 terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir in the last 6 months. Sir, guaranteed to create 25 crore jobs in 2014. Failed. In 2023, the government admitted that in the last 10 years, only 1 crore jobs were created. Sir, guaranteed everyone will have a house. The Prime Minister himself said that every Indian will have a roof over their head. Everyone will have a house by 2022. The Finance Minister proposed the construction of an additional 3 crore houses under PM Awas Yojana. Yet no mention has been made of 11,36,000 houses in Bengal that are still awaiting central funds, while the same money is being allocated to purchase aircraft worth 8,000 crore and construct palatial buildings as a part of Central Vista project worth 20,000 crores. And the poor people of this country still endure homelessness and remain without a roof over their heads. Still remains without a roof over their head. Another failed promise. So they guaranteed employment to the rural poor under Manrega, but failed. As I said, not a penny has been allocated for Bengal in the last 3 financial years following BJP's embarrassing defeat in the 21 assembly elections. So they guaranteed to turn bullet trains into a reality by 2022. Failed again. Now the deadline has been conveniently shifted and postponed to 2026. So 1 kilometer of bullet train costs 200 crore. 1 kilometer of dedicated freight corridor, DFCs on the other hand, costs 25 crore. So railway accidents today has become the order of the day. But the union budget presented yesterday makes no mention of rail safety or installation of anti-collision devices or coverage in the passenger trains. Guaranteed to double farmers' income by 2022, it failed. Actual growth staggers at 3%. At this rate, farmers can expect their incomes to be doubled by 2035 or 2040. Over 1 lakh persons involved in farming sector tragically took their lives between 2014 and 2022. Around 30 suicides every single day. So they guaranteed that no home would be without electricity or water by 2022. So they failed again. They guaranteed to end terrorism, failed again. More than 50 soldiers died in Jammu and Kashmir terrorist attack in the last 32 months. From 2018 to 2022, Jammu and Kashmir has seen 761 terrorist attacks and incidents leading to 174 civilian casualties. You make all the big promises, but you fail to keep them. You give all the guarantees, but those guarantees come with zero warranty. Sir, under this budget, one thing is clear. The only thing that is growing faster than price rise and inflation is BJP's list of broken promises and guarantees. So we have B for betrayal, U for unemployment, D for deprive, G for guarantee. मैंने बोला ना सर, ये एक्रोनिम की सरकार है, तो मैं एक्रोनिम में ही जवाब दूंगा. तो बजट का B था betrayal, U था unemployment, D था deprive, G था guarantee. अब मैं E पे आता हूं. सर, E for eccentric. Modi ji's eccentricity has turned this government, or rather the governance, into a circus, sir, costing the nation dearly. Sir, his obsession with grandstanding and the countrymen from the real issues, leaving India to pay the price for his dictatorial displays. Sir, he announced unplanned lockdown. The government's abrupt announcement of the national lockdown in March 2020 left citizens with only 4 hours to prepare, triggering a widespread chaos and hardship. So the unplanned and poorly implemented lockdown resulted in tragic deaths, over 8,700 people, primarily migrant workers, on our railway tracks and roads. So now I come to farm bills. In 2020, the same Modi government unilaterally passed 3 contentious farm bills without any consultation with the farmers or farmer organization or any opposition party.
प्लीज इसको रिकॉर्ड को क्लियर कर लो. इस सदन में 5.5 घंटे चर्चा हुई थी. इस सदन में किसान विधेयक, हाँ,
हुआ है. बिल पे कोई चर्चा नहीं हुआ है. बिल पे कोई चर्चा नहीं हुआ है.
किसान बिल पर
सर,
जब स्पीकर बोलता है तो बोलता है और वो सही बोलता है.
सर, बिल पे कोई चर्चा नहीं हुआ है. सर, भाई उनका ताली बजाना खत्म हो जाए तो
नहीं, पर माननीय,
सर, आपने ये सदन का याद दिलाया ना.
1 मिनट माननीय सदस्य,
सर, आपने ये सदन का याद
1 मिनट
दिलाया.
माननीय सदस्य, जब मैं बोल रहा हूं तो मैं कभी गलत नहीं बोलता.
सर, आप मुझे एक चीज बता दीजिए. इस सदन में जो लोग ताली बजा रहे हैं, एक सेकंड सर, इस सदन में जो लोग ताली बजा रहे हैं, 700 फार्मर्स मारे गए, उनको मौत की घाट उतारा गया. सर, 1 मिनट, एक आदमी ने एक मिनट के लिए खड़ा होके उनके ऊपर श्रद्धांजलि दिया, ये आज ताली बजा रहे, इसीलिए ऐसा हाल है इनका। और सर 700 लोग मारे गए, ट्रेजिकली ओवर। क्या 700 farmers died. 700 farmers died. What did you do? You people have blood on your hands. You people have blood on your hands. You people have blood on your hands. In 2020, sir, this contentious farm bills were passed without any consultation with the opposition parties or farmers' organization. Sir, these bills sparked massive protests as farmers. सर मैं एक बात स्पष्ट कर देता हूँ, एक चीज सर, ये जो बोल रहा है, मैं बोल रहा हूँ बीजेपी से, मैं जो सवाल यहाँ पे पूछ रहा हूँ इनसे, या मिनिस्टर को जो जवाब देना है, इनमें से कोई भी अगर जवाब देना चाहता है, कोई भी मीडिया चैनल चूज कर ले, मुझे टाइम बता दे, मैं आ जाऊंगा। एक हाथ लगे। मैं कह रहा हूँ सर, इनका दम है, इनका सीने में दम है,
आप अपनी बात कहिए,
और अगर हिम्मत है तो ये
आप चुनौती मत दीजिए, आप अपनी
I am giving them, I am challenging them to
आप
come,
चुनौती मत दीजिए सदन
come
में।
and debate with me.
ये बार चुनौती देना, या चुनौती सदन में नहीं।
Sir, harsh measures such as barbed wires, cement boulders, and iron spikes were deployed on the roads to block farmers from entering the capital. This reveals the true face of this fascist government. Sir, demonetization. In November 2016, the union government demonetized 500 rupees and 1000 rupees currency notes. Ostensibly, क्या? You don't know that the demonetization was done in 2016. Sir, this government demonetized 500 rupees and 1000 rupees note. Sir, ये मुझ पे आरोप लगा रहा है, मैं पढ़ के बोल रहा हूँ। पीएम टेलीप्रॉम्प्टर से बोलते हैं सर, प्राइम मिनिस्टर टेलीप्रॉम्प्टर से बोलते हैं। बेटा तो मैं पढ़ के ही बोलूंगा सर। अपना नेता को जाके ज्ञान दो। अरे अपना नेता को जाके ज्ञान दो।
चर्चा मत करो, आप अपनी बात कीजिए। आप अपनी बात।
Sir, demonetization was brought to combat black money. It was brought to combat corruption. It was brought to combat terrorism. However, the move resulted in a severe cash crunch and significant economic destruction. Despite promises to eliminate black money, over 99% of the invalidated currency returned to the banking system, indicating the sheer failure of this initiative. So shockingly, counterfeit notes increased by 10.7% in 22, with fake 500 rupees note rising to 101.93% and 2000 rupees note by 54%. Sadly, 130 fellow Indians lost their lives due to heat and the strain of standing in long queues, falling victim to this eccentric decision. That's why we say E for eccentric. Now I come to the last letter. Sir, T. T for tragedy.
माननीय
Sir,
सदस्य,
T for tragedy.
माननीय सदस्य, आप वर्तमान बजट पे बोले 2016 के बाद तो 2019 नहीं।
सर मैं
जवाहरलाल नेहरू का बात तो लोग बोलेगा।
सर
जवाहरलाल नेहरू का बात तो लोग बोलेगा।
कोई 60 साल पहले जवाहरलाल नेहरू का बात करेगा, दूसरे नेताओं का बात करेगा, तब आप कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे। मैं 5 साल पहले का डिमोनेटाइजेशन का बात करूंगा तो आप कहेंगे भाई वर्तमान इशू पे बोलिए। सर ये पक्षपात नहीं चलेगा सर।
बजट पे
मैं बजट पे ही बोल रहा हूँ। जब विप्लव देव बोल रहा था तब 100 साल पुराना बात कर रहा था, 50 साल पुराने इमरजेंसी का बात कर रहा था, तब आप चुप थे। और अब मैं डिमोनेटाइजेशन का बात कर रहा हूँ, आपको चुप रहे। वाह सर, वाह।
बोलिए अपनी बात पे।
D for tragedy, and this is the tragedy. The example you all said in the house, this is why I say T for tragedy. When the Kolkata flyover collapsed few years ago, Modi ji gestured that it was not an act of God. He said it's an act of fraud. Sir, we wonder what he has to say when 141 lives were lost in Morbi bridge collapse in Gujarat. Was it an act of God or act of fraud? Sir, what happened when roofs of Delhi, Jabalpur and Gujarat airports collapsed? Was it an act of God or act of fraud? Sir, what happened when Ayodhya Ram temple roof starts leaking after the first rain? Was it an act of God or an act of fraud? Sir, when Mumbai's Atal Setu started developing cracks within 6 months of its inauguration, was it an act of God or an act of fraud? When 41 workers trapped for 17 days after Uttar Kashi tunnel was caved in, sir, was it an act of God or act of fraud? When 20 people killed as a girdle launcher collapsed in Samruddhi Expressway in Thane, what was it? An act of God and an act of fraud? When 300 lives were lost in Balasore, train incident last year, what was it? Act of God or act of fraud? When 9 were killed and 40 people were injured as goods train rammed with Kanchenjunga Express last month, what was it, sir? An act of God or act of fraud? So the rail minister has blood on his hands. A once reliable mode of transport has been transformed into a death trap. So 244 train accidents between 2017 and 2022. 15 major accidents in 2023 alone. Sir, 50% of compulsory track safety inspections were not even completed. Sir, only 672 crore spent out of the needed 58,459 crore on track renewal. Sir, Rashtriya Rail Sanraksha coach, which would have received 20,000 crore every year, only received 4,225 crore. Sir, there's a shortfall, and a staggering shortfall of 15,775 crore. Sir, Manipur is burning over the last almost 1.5 years. More than 200 killings, 70,000 displacements, 1,000 homes wrecked. Sir, no mention of the word Manipur in the union budget. Sir, another tragedy of this government is weaponization of central agencies. Sir, another tragedy of this government has been the weaponization of central agencies to carry out politically motivated witch hunts against opposition leaders, like many of us, including me. Sir, they didn't stop at me or my wife, my elderly parents, my PA, my advocate, even my 11-year-old daughter and 4-year-old son were not spared. Sir, you tried. Sir, the BJP tried to make an example out of me by setting an example for the rest of the country to see, by letting ED and CBI go after me. Sir, but what did the people do? देश में जनता मालिक है, कोई नेता मालिक नहीं है. The people of Bengal and the people of my constituency elected me third time with a margin of 710,000 votes, setting an example for Narendra Modi, Amit Shah, and the minions of BJP and the rest of the country to see. This is the people's power. Sir, if I have to bow, I'll bow before the power of the people. I will not bow before the people in power. This people needs to understand. Sir, India's national debt today stands at a staggering 169 lakh crore. The finance minister needs to know this. Before you ridicule Bengal for a debt of 6 lakh crore, the budget has predominantly, like I said, is anti-Bengal and anti-people. Even though the state elected 12 BJP MPs as compared to 3 in Andhra Pradesh, you still have the guts and gall to overlook West Bengal, and you will get a befitting reply again. Perhaps the central government would have benefited drawing inspiration from West Bengal budget for the year 2024-2025. Sir, our budget stood out for its inclusive approach, introducing new schemes while enhancing the incentives of the existing ones. It comprehensively addressed the needs of every section of the society, ensuring support for women, youth, students, fishermen, and artisans alike. By prioritizing equitable growth and social welfare, it has set a commendable example of governance focused on holistic development of the people. So, sir, I have explained to this august house, including the finance minister, who is sadly not present in the house, BUDGET. I repeat again, B for betrayal, U for unemployment, D for deprive, G for ghotala and guarantee, and E for eccentric, and T for tragedy. Sir, the finance minister made a seventh budget. The finance minister made a seventh budget speech. Sir, more empty words, more empty promises, hollow words. This budget has got more fiction than finance. I have exposed the track record of this government, sir, on promises, on governance, on guarantees, and on targets. Since we are talking about the general budget and estimates and figures, we should also take a look at the audit, or try to take a look at an audit. So if you audit the results of 2019 general elections, what will the audit show, sir? The election results are a direct audit of the performance of the Honorable Prime Minister and this government. The PM was the face, the body, and the head of the BJP campaign, which cried, "Ab ki baar 400 par." And what is the result of that audit? The result of the audit is BJP lost heavily in Bengal. They were stunned in Uttar Pradesh, shaken up in Maharashtra. Their slogan was, "Jo Ram ko laaye hai, hum unko laayenge," backfired, sir. Okay. Their slogan of "Jo Ram ko laaye hai, hum unko laayenge," backfired. I would rather say, "Prabhu Ram aaye, to न्याय आया." कुछ वक्त जरूर लगा, लेकिन इंसाफ आया. BJP not only faced a humiliating defeat from the Ayodhya seat, but it also lost Badrinath in the last by-election. That takes me back from where I started. Waqt badal gaya hai. The Prime Minister now leads a creaky, vulnerable, shaky coalition. And it leads a coalition government which is just waiting to blow up. Rather than investing in the future of this country, it is unfortunate that the union government is investing for Modi ji's political survival at the expense of nation's well-being. Truth is, the Honorable Prime Minister is on borrowed time. You all are on borrowed time, mark my words. And I would like to end by saying, थोड़ा सब्र रखिए और कुर्सी का पीटी बांध लीजिए, मौसम बिगड़ने वाला है. Thank you, sir.
माननीय सदस्यगणों, एक मिनट. हाँ, आप बोलिए. हाँ.
एक नहीं बल्कि 3 बार अनपार्लियामेंट्री लैंग्वेज का इस्तेमाल करा है. 2021 की आप ही की रूलिंग है. बिट्रेड शब्द और बिट्रेल अनपार्लियामेंट्री कैटेगरी में आता है, वो इसका इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते. इसके अलावा उन्होंने मिनियन शब्द का इस्तेमाल करा जो आपत्तिजनक है. इन्होंने व्यक्तिगत टिप्पणी करी हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी पर और इसेंट्रिक शब्द का इस्तेमाल करा. मेरा आपसे निवेदन है कि इन दोनों के लिए, इनको तीनों बातों के लिए इनको माफी मांगनी चाहिए और रिकॉर्ड से ये तीनों शब्द एक्सपंज होने चाहिए.
अब आप सारा विषय जो आपने उठाया मैं उसको चेक करूंगा. और माननीय सदस्यों से मेरा आग्रह है कि कई माननीय सदस्य आसन को चुनौती देते हैं, आसन पर टिप्पणी करते हैं. मैं सभी दलों के माननीय सदस्यों को कह रहा हूं, इससे बचना चाहिए, उचित नहीं है. किशन रेड्डी जी.
बहुत मिनिस्ट्रीज के अभी यूसी सर्टिफिकेट्स कुछ स्टेट से नहीं आते हैं. कि उससे अलग अलग स्टेटों से महिला के पर अत्याचार हुआ, 0 एक भी नहीं है। किसानों का अत्याचार हुआ, 0 कुछ भी नहीं है। आज देश में एक प्रांत ऐसा है, उस प्रांतों में ना किसानों का आत्महत्या होता है, ना महिलाओं का आत्महत्या होता है, ना महिलाओं का अत्याचार होता है। एक ही स्टेट है ये। आज जब तक अभी जो भाषण सुना है वो उत्तर प्रदेश के वो वेस्ट बंगाल के बारे में बात करना था, वो शब्द पूरा इधर यूज किया है। ये पूरा भाषण जो अभिषेक बनर्जी दिए आदरणीय सदस्यों, पूरा भाषण वो वेस्ट बंगाल के सरकार के लिए है, भारत सरकार के लिए नहीं है, पूरा वेस्ट बंगाल के सरकार के लिए है वो।
भरत मारन जी, दयानिधि मारन जी, दयानिधि मारन,
Please, please, submit.
Sir,
Dhananji Maran ji, please, please. कल्याण जी प्लीज प्लीज, कल्याण जी प्लीज बैठिए। कल्याण जी आपका वोट हो गया, आप भी बैठिए अभी। दयानंद जी
start with
प्लीज।
வணக்கம் சார், வாழ்க தமிழ். சார், நான் தமிழனாக பிறக்கவில்லையே, அடுத்த ஜென்மத்திலாவது நான் தமிழனாக பிறக்க வேண்டும். தமிழ் உலகத்திலே சிறந்த மொழி, அந்த பாக்கியம் எனக்கு கிடைக்கவில்லையே என்று. This is how he spoke. What he said was, it is unfortunate I was not born a Tamilian. I only wish I'll be born as a Tamilian in the next birth. I love the language of Tamil and the people of Tamil Nadu. This is our Prime Minister before the Tamil Nadu first phase election. After the election got over, in the last phase, when he goes to Orissa, what does he say? How can he give the control of Orissa to Tamilians? He showed his anger. People of Tamil Nadu will never forget. And that is depicted here in this budget. As you try to cheat, who are Tamil people? And saying that you will support Tamil. And wherever you went, you tried to speak our Tirukural and tried to get our hearts. But your true heart, the Prime Minister, is venom against the people of Tamil Nadu, which you have said that. Sir, I won't take much time in this, but speaking about the budget, sir, because even the BJP speaker who spoke never spoke about the budget, sir. Sir, I think this time has come for the Prime Minister to take some good advice and follow our Chief Minister, Revidin model Chief Minister, Thri M.K. Stalin. When my Chief Minister, Thri M.K. Stalin, became the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, he said, I will work not only for the people who voted for me, but also for the people who did not vote for me. It is my duty. But today, sir, our Prime Minister is not working for the people who voted for his party, but only for the parties which are supporting him. Sir, in fact, if you see, sir, lakhs and crores of rupees were spent by this union government to promote Modi Ka Guarantee before the elections. Wherever you went, televisions, radios, newspaper channels, it was all public money was used to promote the Prime Minister. Sir, after the election, Modi Ka Guarantee is gone, sir. Now, Modi may Ka insurance. What insurance? So insurance policy, premium, is being paid by the people of India to ensure that he still continues as a Prime Minister. Sir, for 3 years, the union government share of funds for Chennai's metro rail has been pending. Our chief ministers has repeatedly written and urged for the funds. The Chennai metro rail phase 2, sir, which they had to give 50% of the fund. Till date, they have not given a single rupee. But our chief minister has said Tamil Nadu government will fund and has already put 12,000 crores in this budget, sir. Sir, we would like to know. You went to Coimbatore. You had a road show. You tried, the Prime Minister tried to appease the people of Coimbatore. Sir, we have sent you a project. Our Tamil Nadu government has sent you a project for the Coimbatore Metro Rail, for Madurai Metro Rail.
no response. Nothing is compared for you. Sir, our Tamil Nadu government has made a request for the Tamaram Chengalpet elevated express. Till now, no mention of the funds order. Sir, for 10 years, the middle class has burned the brunt of inflation. Rise in food prices, rise in fuel and LPG prices. Sir, let me break it, sir. Do it because right now, the Russia-Ukraine war is going on. Because of that, the Western countries are not buying the fuel directly from Russia. But those Russian fuel is being bought by India at half the rate. If the basket, petroleum basket is $120, India was getting for $60. Did any of the Indians benefit because of price reduction? No. This oil went to our Prime Minister's friends' refineries, got refined into diesel and petrol, and was exported to Europe, and they sold it at the market price. You brought windfall taxes. The first time in India, windfall taxes was brought. Sir, I would like to ask the finance minister, why don't you give us a white paper on the windfall taxes and how much of money the Ambanis and Adanis made of the Ukraine war? Sir, one has to find, sir, that to provide substantial relief for income tax. Sir, household savings has hit a record low of 5.2% of gross national disposable income in year 2023. So what do the common man get, sir? A saving of 1,458 rupees per month. That is the savings they're talking about, sir. Sir, you have announced targeted programs, irrigation and flood mitigation. Bihar gets the Koshi Mehichi intra-state link. Assam, Sikkim, and Uttarakhand are getting assistance for flood management. Himachal is getting assistance for reconstruction and rehabilitation. Sir, what about Tamil Nadu, sir? Sir, we had the worst floods in Chennai. Sir, in Thoothukudi, we had floods which has never seen for 150 years. The finance minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, she came, she went and saw with her friends, and she said she was amongst her friends. And there, she appealed with the people, yes, we'll do something. Till now, not a single rupee had come. And in fact, sir, she visited temples there and asked the residents, do not put money into the undial. Give the money directly to the priest. Is that the way a finance minister behaves, sir? Will it be okay, sir, if I go tell my people of Tamil Nadu, don't pay taxes to the union government? Because all the money goes to other states, doesn't come to Tamil Nadu. That's not a way I elected, sorry, she's not, she's a selected person. So she's a selected person to begin. Tamil Nadu has raised requests and asked the floods. Our chief minister made multiple visits to meet the prime minister and made a demand for 37,000 crores as disaster relief. You know how much the union minister and the union government gave Tamil Nadu, sir? You'll be surprised. You might even faint. The union government gave us only 276 crores so far. Yet it seems to be in balance. In announcing 11,500 crores to BR due to the political compulsions of this minority BJP government. Sir, when there was flood in Gujarat, the Prime Minister went there the very next day and announced a slew of support measures up to 1,000 crores immediately. But Tamil Nadu, after events, 7 months, there's no care. Sir, why is the union government singling out our state and denying our people our schemes they need? Sir, it is not enough that Tamil Nadu, you visit Tamil Nadu during elections and call us, sir, people of Tamil Nadu will never, ever forgive you for this betrayal. Sir, while I'm happy, sir, the BJP has finally taken a cue and following the footsteps of our honorable Chief Minister, the Deputy Model Chief Minister, M.K. Stalin, sir, by copying his pioneering scheme. Sir, the scale that you have announced is unbecoming at the union. Sir, take for example, the skill development scheme, which the budget says. The finance minister says it will train 20 lakh people in a year's time. But
my Dravidian model chief minister, through MK Stalin, is already introduced a scheme of training 15 lakh youth in a year. A state government is training 15 lakhs. A union government with all the resources is only training 20 lakhs a year, sir. Sir, they've also taken a trademark Dravidian model scheme like the state-run hostels for women, the Tori hostels, that was implemented by our chief minister. So we welcome it. This should in fact be named as a Dravidian model, the hostels for the women throughout the country, sir. Because the credit goes to our chief minister who first implemented it in Tamil Nadu. Again, sir, another scheme, non-Mudalvan scheme, which is now repacked as upskilling program. Even the India Alliance of ensuring apprenticeship and employment-linked incentive has been taken up, sir. Good for them. They're copying us, sir. But I need to remind, when the in a Congress manifesto announced this, what did Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman said? It is unimplementable. What happened now? Probably, I think, sir, she thought it was not brought by Nehruji. Now, because, sir, the BJP has surprisingly managed to get very few votes in Tamil Nadu, sir. I feel bad for them, sir. In the previous 2019, they were competing with Nota. But this time, sir, Tamil Nadu people have given a little more. But, sir, the way this... But, sir, this time we got 40 out of 40. You got 0. Not a single seat could you win. Sir, you think people of Tamil Nadu will forgive you for this traitry? You're being so vicious against the people of Tamil Nadu. Sir, but for Andhra Pradesh, the South has been ignored. You announced a slew of schemes for your allies in BR and Andhra. But Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Telangana, and Karnataka have been completely ignored. Sir, we have no issues, sir. Please, we want you to support Andhra Pradesh. We want you to support BR. We are not against it. But do not penalize others. Yes. Do not penalize other states. This reflects very poorly on you, sir. Sir, I thought Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman was a very learned person. She has come out with a new policy, New East angle. Sir, yesterday I was scratching my head and wondering, what is the New East? The New East of India, Bihar comes, Andhra Pradesh comes, West Bengal doesn't come. Sir, and Tamil Nadu is sharing border with Andhra Pradesh, and we don't come. So, whenever convenient, she is using it. Sir, there's a saying in Tamil, sir, "Enakku vandha ratham, unakku vandha takkali chutney." That means if I get injured, blood comes for me, but if you do something, it's only a tomato chutney. Sir, I remember, sir, probably Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman is suffering from selective amnesia or dementia. I do not know. In 2014, you had Chandrababu Naidu Garu as your alliance partner. We all know how badly he was treated. He had to give 2 choices for the ministry. He didn't even had a choice to pick who the minister, what portfolio could be. He had come for the swearing-in ceremony. Then alone he knew that one of his choice is going to become a minister, and that to the same civil aviation was given to them. That time, sir, the chief minister of Andhra Pradesh, Sri Chandrababu Naidu Garu, wanted an appointment with the Prime Minister Modi. He had to wait 4 months. 4 months he had to wait to get an appointment with Modi. For what? Special status for Andhra Pradesh. What all you are giving now, he wanted 10 years back, but what did our Prime Minister do 2019, sir? He said, into a rally in Raja Mahendravaram, the PM said, the Polavaram project is an ATM for Chandrababu Naidu and his son. Sir, when it chooses you, you put a person down. But when you want to become a Prime Minister because of his health, the same ATM changes and becomes a very important machine for the country.
ATM.
Sir. Sir. And next thing, sir, the matter of 1 week, 15 bridges in BR collapsed. Normally, our Sangh Parivar would have come and said, corruption, The bridge has fallen. We need CBI inquiry. We need ED inquiry. But what are you doing, sir? You're giving 26,000 crores to rebuild those bridges. Sir, you are rewarding the corrupt persons in BR because you want to stay in power and you say you're pure. How can we accept that, sir? Sir, there was a lot of hope in the budget. If everyone thought it'd be a pro-poor budget, pro-farm budget, pro-youth budget, as we assumed, your humbling defeat would make you to come back clean and good for the people. Sir, expenditure on social service is crucial for a developing nation like India. It is the only tool we have to eradicate poverty, develop better health infrastructure, and provide a safety net for the most vulnerable. As per the government estimates, sir, they always compare the amount spent this year versus the last year to show how overall the welfare expenditure has grown at a CAGR of 12.8% education. Sir, education by 9.4, health by 15.8, and claim is a record expenditure. Sir, the devil is in the details. Looking at the figure in terms of percentage of total expenditure reveals a different story. Sir, expenditure on education was just around 1.9% for the year 2017-18, which has fallen to 1.7 in 2023-24. Medical and public expenditure has decreased from 0.8 to 0.16. Welfare schemes for the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and minorities have declined from 0.16 to 0.13. There is no mention of census. This is the fifth budget being presented without the census. This is the first government since independence that has failed to conduct a census even 3 years after the pandemic. Sir, you compare yourself with other countries. I'm going to become the fifth largest economy in the world. Sir, 143 countries in the world after the pandemic have conducted the census successfully and managed to get the data. So what does it mean? The government doesn't know how many people to plan for, what the state of human resources are, what the demography and economic structure are at the local, regional, and national levels. So how can we expect effective policy making for this government? One wonders if you're avoiding to conduct census because of the pressure from within your dependable allies for a caste-based census. Sir, budget lets down the poor, fails to address the growing economic equality. Sir, usually GDP, sir, when Manmohan Singh, as the Prime Minister, former Prime Minister, took over, sir, the GDP in 2004 was 54.8 lakh crores rupees. Sir, GDP usually doubles every 10 years. When Manmohan Singh left at 2014, and the great Prime Minister Modi took in 2014, it was 105.27 lakh crores, literally doubled. Sir, that means after 10 years, let's do the maths. You should have doubled. You should have been more than 200 crores, sir. A GDP, 200 lakh crores. But your governance has brought in for 2023-24, it is only 173.82 lakh crores, sir. This shows that you are not performing as you claim to. Budgets are aimed to stimulate growth. The economic survey says India's real GDP grew by 8.2% for the year, financial year 24, marking a growth of over 7% for the third consecutive year. It forecasts that in a modest 6.5 to 7%. Sir, but what is growth? It is just the increase of a size of economy, or is it equitable distribution of wealth from the growth? Who's benefiting from the growth? Sir, it is the 3.44 crore people living in extremely poverty in country. After all, they are the ones most affected by macroeconomics indicators like inflation in food prices. While headlines and core inflation have eased to 5.1% and 3.1% respectively, the consumer food price index remains high at 9.4% in June 2024. Economic inequality has widened significantly over the past under the BJP's crony capitalism government. The wealth of Indian billionaires has increased, that means Modi's friends, has increased by 35% in 2020 alone, while millions were pushed into poverty due to the pandemic. Reports indicates that 10% of the population holds 77% of the national wealth. highlighting a severe disparity in income distribution. There is another outstanding statistics with this as well. By 22-23, the top 10% of the country's population has 22.6% of all income and own 40% of all the wealth of the country. Sir, this is worse than the colonial era. This is worse than the British Raj. This is how the BJP is taking our country to that. Sir, youth and employment data. So this is the elephant in the room. Despite promises to create 2 crore jobs annually, the reality been starkly different. The unemployment rate rose by 40 year high for 6.1 in 2018 to 17.8, sir. It peaked, sir. This was much before the pandemic. So we can't blame the global situation. Today, the situation is worse. One side, the Ministry of Labor and Employment is saying that as per the latest available periodic labor force survey, reports that estimate unemployment rate on usual status of person of age 15 years and above was 4.2 in 2021, 4.1 in 22, and 3.2 in 23, respectively. Sir, but the data from the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, an independent think tank, says the unemployment rate was 8% in 2020-21, 5.9% in 21-22, and 7.3% in 2022-23. This belief is far more believable on the ground reality. According to the CMI data, the unemployment rate in India stood at 9.2% in June 24, so a sharp increase from 7% in May 24. CMI Consumer Pyramid also shows that the female unemployment reached 18.5%, exceeding the national average in June 24. This up from 15.1% the same period last year. At the same time, male unemployment stood at 7.8, slightly higher than 7.7 in June 2023. Sir, why the labor participation rate rose to 41.4% in June 2024 from 40% in May and up from 39% in June? The rural unemployment rate rose to 9.3 in June from 6.3 in May. The urban unemployment rate climbed from 8.6 to 8.9. The contrast sharply with figures of 2014, where the unemployment rate was 5.44 during the UPA regime. So the finance ministers have highlighted the BJP's 9 crucial priorities for transforming India into a developed country by 2047. The 9 priorities for generating ample opportunities for India is included: productivity and resilience in agriculture, employment and skilling, inclusive human resources development, social justice, urban development, energy security, infrastructure, innovation, research and development, and next generation reforms. So let us take one by one. Sir, productivity and resilience in agriculture. An inter-ministerial committee in April 2016 was set up in 2016 to lay out a roadmap to double farmers' income by 2022, as promised by the Prime Minister. They used 2012-2013 National Sample Survey Office data to estimate. The national average annual income of Indian farmers was 96,000 in 2015-16. Based on this, the committee set the targeted double income at 1,92,694 at 2015-16 constantly to 2,71,000 at the current price in this. To achieve those levels, farm income would have to grow annually by 10.4% over the next 7 years. The committee calculated. While the data of 22-23 is not available, according to the last situational survey data released by 2022, the average annual income of the farming household increased from 96,703 in 2015-16 to 1,22,616 in 2018. This suggests the annual growth in farmers' income has been mere 2.8%. Even this growth has been driven from non-farm income, since income from crop cultivation declined by 1.5% annually since 2015-16. Sir, at this point, when this government came, they did promise, sir. I was also surprised that a mega project of interlinking of rivers will be taken. Sir, how many rivers have they interlinked, sir? Can they give us a white paper on that, sir? They changed the ministry into Jal Shakti ministry, sir. because they want to interlink reverse. Sir, what a scam, sir. They've been cheating us all along. So now let's come to employment and skilling. So I've already presented my case of unemployment issues and lack of scale in skill development issues. I remind you again, the budget says it will take 20 lakh youth across the country, while my state, my chief minister, the revenue policy minister, through MK Stalin, is providing training for 15 lakh youth per year. So there's a wide gap from a state to a country. Sir, inclusive human resource development. The government strategy for inclusive resources, human resource development, and social justice focus on comprehensive growth across various sectors. Programs for education, health, and economic improvement, enhancing schemes like PM Vishwakarma and PM Savanidhi to support artisans, self-help groups, and entrepreneurs. The Purvodaya initiative, the East project like the Patna Purina Expressway, rupees 15,000 crores for Andhra Pradesh capital needs a support for Polavaram engineering power are all commendable. But why is my state, Tamil Nadu, not included? Why is all the other states not included? I will ask. The people of India would like to know, sir. Whereas the report card of, sir, for how similar schemes are fair the past, many questions on these topics have only given vague data on funding and outcomes. Sir, India's public healthcare remains underfunded and overburdened. The country's healthcare expenditure is still averaging around 1.28% of GDP, much lower than the global average of 6%. Rural areas face severe shortage of doctors and medical facilities. So how exactly will you have inclusive human resource development? Sir, let's come to social justice. Caste-based discrimination and social inequalities persist. Dalits and other marginalized communities continue to face significant social economic challenges. Inclusive policies and robust implementations are needed to ensure social justice. But all we see is welfare schemes being ignored and spending being cut for these sections that requires a social security or a safety net. Sir, we from Tamil Nadu, our chief minister, have been repeatedly explained how NEET is an anti-social justice. Yet, you still remain adamant on not abolishing it. Sir, our speaker comes from Kota. This is his constituency. Every year, more than 22 students commit suicide because of their fear of facing. Same thing is coming for a state. Sir, this is the future of our children. Your arrogance should not come in the way. Sir, this is not what we want. Sir, this is anti-social. This is against the social development. I hope you open your eyes after all the scams. Do not cover it up and try to push it. Sir, next is they're talking about urban development. You refuse to fund our Chennai Metro Bridge projects or any other metro projects. Lower the state with construction bills for housing projects. The air quality index requires major cities continue to be accelerated and deforestation rates have increased. Smart city mission has been extended till March 2025 after the June deadline was missed. Smart cities allocation slashed from 2,400 crores for the year 25 from 8,000 crores. You say more resources will be allocated for urban rejuvenation mission, which is more about improving the living condition of the urban poor in the city. But during the course of the election, we saw in Chennai when Prime Minister Modi went for a roadshow from his favorite area of Mismambalam, and he had to cross my constituency where people are staying, poor people are staying in the slum board houses. Cloths were put, like what they did for Namashetram. They didn't want people to see the poor of Gujarat. The poor of Chennai were covered. This is the condition what they said. Sir, I would like to know, what happened to your pipe drinking water to every houses? Nothing has been happening, sir. Sir, PM is talking about energy security. Sir, FM has announced a diversified energy plan focused on small modular nuclear reactors, rooftop solar plants, and development of indigenous technology for advanced ultra super critical thermal power plants with much higher efficiency. Can we have the data on how much of this funding will be allocated to each state and how the criteria of selecting the project for each state will be decided? Sir, as of June, about 54.5% of India's power comes from thermal sources like coal, gas, and diesel, while 45.5% comes from non-fossil sources, which includes 1.8% nuclear power capacity. according to the Power Ministry. How does the FM plan to alter this drastically in a short period? What happens? The state decide not to opt for small modular nuclear reactors and want to pursue with alternate sources. Is there a mechanism how this announcement will be implemented? So there's no announcement related to ambitious green hydrogen mission, which got 600 crores the interim budget. No announcement related to electric vehicles in FAME 3, which will be critical to not just cleaner environment, but also industry. What about the funding of harnessing of offshore wind energy production? So infrastructure, sir. FM has announced 11.11 lakh crores for capital expenditure for 2024-25. Road and railway projects are to get nearly 50% of this outlay. The massive slash in social sector spending over the years, coupled with the unimaginative move to push capex once again in the latest union budget, has become a trademark of BJP budget that does little for the common people of this country. The budget capital expenditure is about 17% more compared to the actual expenditure of 9.48 lakh crores last year. FM has once again bet on increased capital expenditure spending, but little to show how it has helped deliver results. The two most powerful indicators of revival capital expenditure cycles are acceleration and completion of investment project. And in this increase is net fixed asset of non-financial companies. We are yet to see any result for the capex investment for the last few years. So how can we be sure? We must also not forget the large capital expenditures is at the cost of welfare. There have been significant cuts in major schemes and no investment in key sectors like healthcare and education. Similarly, schemes for minorities, the disabled, the pensioners, for the elderly have all been summarily reduced. In addition, the rise in price over the past 5 years mean that every rupee buys less than it did in 2019. This deadly combination of insufficient funding and rising inflation directly hurts our nation's poorest and most disadvantaged. It will only aggravate existing crises such as inflation, historically high unemployment, and low savings in the country. So this push for infrastructure comes at a large cost. What will we see the results of massive capital expenditure, there's capital spending by BJP. Sir, now let's come to innovation development. Everyone will be in support of, sir, all of us will be supporting fostering indigenous innovation and research. But the Union government follow through with sufficient and consistent funding. Anushandan National Research Fund for basic research and prototype development is to be operationalized. How does the government propose to do this? Is there a roadmap in place? Financing pool of 1 lakh crore for spurring private sector driven research and innovations at commercial scale is commendable. But where are the funds for such announcement going to come from? So let's go for next generation reform. How does the government plan to ensure uniform implementation of land and labor reforms across states, given the varying levels of infrastructure and government capabilities? How does the union government plan to structure the fiscal support for states? What criteria will be used to determine the allocation of funds? How will the government address the digital divide, particularly in the rural areas, to ensure the benefits of digitized land records and GIS mapping are accessible to all citizens? How will the government involve various stakeholders, including the farmers, labor unions, industry representatives, in reform process to ensure the concerns suggestions are adequately addressed? We already saw how your farm laws backfired due to lack of consultations. In conclusion, sir, Chairman, sir, the union budget has again failed to meet the aspiration of the middle class of the people. Sir, one would like to ask, today, nearly 4 lakh crores has been promised as a subsidy for Andhra Pradesh and for Bihar to support you being the Prime Minister. I would like to ask, from where is the money going to come? At whose cost are you going to do this? Sir, I again will demand, again we would like to say, sir, sir, very well, sir.
Please conclude.
At point, we are supporting you. We are supporting you. We are supporting you. We are supporting. Sir,
Please
we are
address the
supporting
chair.
you, sir. While we support, we'll be supporting.
Dayani, please address the chair. Don't yield to them, please.
Thank you, sir. You are very fair, sir. Sir,
Please address the chair.
sir, at this point, while I conclude, I'll say, our demands from our Chief Minister, Sri M.K. Stalin, is for our people. Tamil Nadu has risen as a primary state, as the #1 state in Tamil Nadu in governance and ensuring development takes place. But why are you penalizing us? Because we didn't elect you. We didn't elect you because you are two-faced. You always want to use us, abuse us. You want to split us in the name of religion, caste, and you want to make sure that you discriminate us by birth. And you do never like. Till now, how many times the Prime Minister said he likes Tamil language, he loves Tamil language. What has he done for our Tamil language or for the people of Tamil Nadu? This is what we say in Tamil Nadu. Vaila vada sudranarthan Modi. That is the reason people of Tamil Nadu. Okay, I'll explain it. He fries vada through his mouth, not through the oil. And now he doesn't even give the vada to us. He takes and he eats himself. Sir, I humbly request that people of Tamil Nadu are watching you. Do not try to punish them. If you punish Tamil Nadu, then India will not grow. If India has to grow, Tamil Nadu has to grow. Sir, while I conclude, I want to conclude last. Sir, the people of Tamil Nadu have one more great fear with our Prime Minister. In 2014, when the Prime Minister first entered the Parliament, he came to the old Parliament. He fell flat at the Parliament and took the blessings of the Parliament in 2014. Sir, now that Parliament is no more. Now, sir, 2024, sir, the Prime Minister took blessing from the Constitution. He took the Constitution book and took all his blessing. Sir, the people of Tamil Nadu, the people of country are worried. Please do not destroy the Constitution. Thank you, sir.
Sri M. Sri Bharat. Sri Bharat, please.
Thank you, sir. This is my first speech in the Parliament. I've heard many learned members speak today, and I'm not as prepared for countering many of the things that were said, but I think as we speak in the future, I'll learn from it. But I think the takeaway is that politics are different, times change, and when we point fingers at someone, there's 4 fingers pointing back at us. And I think I'll speak about those as we proceed into the future. I'd like to start off by thanking the Honorable Prime Minister and the Finance Minister for their visionary budget, which exemplifies the government's unwavering commitment to Viksit Bharat and the goal of making India a $30 trillion economy by 2047, and also making it the 3rd largest economy by 2027. There were things that were said by members of the opposition. I'd like to highlight some of them. That the government today is not a stable government. I'd like to remind everyone that when UPA 2 came into power in 2009, the UPA didn't get the magic numbers. They were under 273, and that to take external support of other parties to form the government. Compared to the times then and parties over here that were part of that alliance, we are much stronger now than they were then. I'd like to also highlight that what we're doing now is the alliance is based on pre-election agreement between the political parties, and we've all come together based on the needs of our respective states. And I'll come back to why Andhra Pradesh needs help and what the challenges we've faced over the last 5 years. But I'd like to highlight certain aspects of the budget, I think, which will help us become Viksit Bharat by 2047. I'd like to start off with the focus on infrastructure, on capital expenditure. The 11.11 crores that have been committed to capital expenditure is about 12% greater than what was committed last year. And I'd also like to appreciate the 1.5 lakh crores that have been given interest-free for multiple states across the country to leverage to build their own infrastructure. I'd like to also acknowledge the budget given for rural Bharat through the allocation of 2.66 lakh crores. I'd like to, in particular, appreciate the government for recognizing the challenges of the MSME sector by basically providing end-to-end support, from the new credit assessment for giving about 100 crores of loan without collateral, from giving support to stressed MSMEs during their times of difficulty, to giving them access to funds. I think the MSMEs are the backbone of the country, because across rural and urban areas, there's millions of MSMEs across the country that need that help. But through this development, we are not leaving people behind because there are allegations of price rise and inflation. I'd like to remind here that the average inflation in the NDA government over the last 10 years has been about 5% as per the World Economic Outlook. But during the UPA regime of 4 to 14, the inflation was 7.5%. So there's a 2.5% average lower number of inflation in the last 10 years compared to the UPA regime from 4 to 14. So whatever complaints that the opposition has about price rise, I think they're pointing a lot more fingers at themselves. I think the commitment of the government to give budget support to 1 crore families for building housing, both in urban and rural areas, is much appreciated, and we look forward to getting that benefit in Andhra Pradesh also. I think the continued welfare support through the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana to 80 crore people and continuing that for 5 more years, we appreciate that. And I'd like to specifically mention the water management that the city of Visakhapatnam that I represent is covered in that. Having told the entire parliament during the campaign and also having contested in 2019, this is an acute shortage and acute challenge that we face in our city with sewage and solid waste treatment issues. I'd like to also highlight the solar plan of providing about 1 crore houses with solar rooftops and about 300 units of electricity free. So I think through this, the government is providing development and providing support to not only the wealthy, but also to the poor and to people all around the country. And I hope that as the country keeps moving forward, we support many others. We've given a basic standard of living through these various initiatives. We've focused on infrastructure, we've focused on economic growth. But then the question is about equity. How are we giving opportunity to different people around the country? There are different things that the budget has spoken about. One, which was very interesting, was about being able to provide internship opportunities to 1 crore youth across the country, to start with in the 500 top companies, but I hope that it gets spread to other companies. And the budget outlay in terms of giving a one-time joining of 6,000 rupees and a monthly benefit about 5,000 rupees. I'd like to appreciate the intention to set up 1,000 ITIs in the hub and spoke model across the country and to train 20 lakh youth in skilling. I think it's a much needed initiative. Being a person who is in higher education myself, I'd like to in particular appreciate the intention to give loan support of about 10 lakh rupees to every student who wants to pursue higher education in domestic institutions, and also giving 3% subvention on interest. Because I did my undergrad in the US, I lead a university in India today with about 30,000